Hey, we're winning 4-2 though. Did Spain win? Did Brazil win? Kane. I can tell you thought you scored. I've seen Kane score from that area a lot of the times. And England fans got the ball and he's fucking them up. Do you get to keep the ball? Who played it? Morgan Rogers? That was a lovely bit of trickery there. Oh, we got some defending to do, boys. Perisic tried to clip it over the top. What Croatia fashion? You know what? Yeah, not Kramaric, but their first striker. I thought they did all right. Decent ball by Croatia. Pickford. Ref, how long? How long, ref? Vamos! 6-goal thriller. England are off to a winning start in the World Cup, people. You know, Saka assist, Rice assist is lovely. Positivity from Noni Madueke. Put a delicious ball into the box in the first half. Should have had an assist. He was probably England's best player in that first half. You know, had a positive, obviously won the penalty. Kane's got a brace and had some good defensive actions. Nice to see, you know, when Saka plays that level of minutes, he looked quite promising. Got an assist for Rashford. Lovely moment for Rashford. Big up Jude Bellingham for getting in a very important goal. And when he obviously did it, you know, yeah, man. I do think Reece James looked better in the second half in midfield. I think Reece James and John Stones look incredibly rusty in certain aspects. The John Stones Konza partnership playing out from the back, finding a way to link defense into midfield and ultimately attack has to be better. Defensively, the 2 goals we conceded were absolutely shambolic. Beautiful sets of play from Croatia. I do think Croatia's structure was good. They were good on the ball. There was, whether the statistics back up or not, it felt like at times we couldn't consistently string 10 passes together. So yeah, man, obviously you'll take the win. The 2 goals could have been avoided. We found 4, off to a winning start. But there's a lot that needs to change in it. There's a lot that needs to change. And you know what? I'll say this year, Arsenal winning the World Cup. All of you that cried about Declan Rice, Declan Rice set piece and all that stuff from Arsenal, you lot better not have celebrated England's goal. So yeah, there were some good moments. You know, the Croatian goalkeeper was called into action several times. Obviously, Harry Kane's blushes were spared because we got to retake the pen. I think I did want to see a bit more inverting from either Reece James or Nico O'Reilly to help that midfield partnership, a pivot of Elliot Anderson and Declan Rice. You know, but yeah, Harry Kane, the golden boot, the race for the golden boot in the World Cup looks mad. If I'm completely honest with you, what's that? Kane's got a brace now. Haaland's got a brace. Mbappe's got a brace. Messi's got 2. I'm probably missing somebody else out as well. But the World Cup has been a good, you know, in terms of goals, we've seen bangers, we've seen set pieces. We've probably, quote unquote, been entertained. You know, the only annoying thing about the World Cup at this moment in time is the consistent hydration breaks. I think that's Noni Madueke's best game in a minute. Set piece saved us. So yeah, man, we do what we need to do, man. I think big up Spence and Morgan Rogers for their involvement in Rashford's goal and obviously Bukayo. So yeah, man, we need to do better. We need to structurally be better. We need to learn how to play out from the back a lot better. We need to, in that game, we need to get a bit more personality on the ball and let our nuts hang, in my opinion. So there's a lot that needs to be done. You can see this ain't a team that played together for a while and there's still teething problems. To be fair to Tuchel, couldn't tell you what, but it felt like something changed in the second half. And, you know, we responded almost immediately to a couple of the 2 Croatian goals. But great way to start the second half. And I think we was genuinely better. Like, couple of Buki moments towards the end, low-level Buki moments from Pickford. But yeah, man, what a game, what a start. Good tactics, Tuchel and Cole. The first 10 minutes of the second half was electric. First 10 minutes of both halves, if I'm honest. DG, you watching Uzbekistan versus Colombia. If I could stay up, bring Rogers to the carpet, man. That little skip. You know what? Jude Bellingham had a little moment where he sent someone shot. That little one to set up Kane who bundled over. Well, yeah. I'd probably give Kane man of the match. I think I really have, you know, he dropped deep. He lost the ball in the first half and it could have been mad, but he dropped deep. He done his defensive due diligence. He's obviously stepped up with 2 goals. I think him and Madueke probably the best players on the pitch. Anthony Gordon never saw nothing, if I'm completely honest. To be honest, the whole, like Arsenal, England are very lopsided towards the right. There's a heavy bias towards the right. And there's an element of ring rust around Reece James and Stones, but yeah, man, we're happy we won. There are some positives and numerous positives, but equally there's clouds around Tuchel's tactics, clouds around, you know, what we saw on the pitch and certain individuals. But You know, if someone offered you a 4-2 victory without any context of how the game's panned out and all that kind of crap, you would have taken it for it, man. Hit the likes if you haven't. 3 Arsenal assists. Kane, man of the match. This the best game so far, not even being biased. We got Super Arsenal FC. They know exactly what we need. Decker's at the back, set piece in attack. Arsenal going to win the World Cup. And even Declan Rice's set pieces into that box, horrible for the opposition, man. They were bang on the money each and every time. With that being said, we done what we need to do. What do you make of Anderson? I think he's a decent player. I don't think he's worth 120 million, but the market dictates that. And you could argue players like Elliot Anderson and Rice, because you know what you're getting in midfield, engine, tackling, and everything kind of being a bonuses. You could, and there's obviously minutes in the legs, they're English, there's longevity. You could make an argument that, and I'm not saying I agree with this, but being devil's advocate, that it probably makes more sense to spend 100 odd million on them versus attackers, because you don't know if that's going to work. These lot are kind of sure bets, but yeah, man, for me, when you're playing out from the back, neither Rice or Anderson are going to consistently thread the lines in it. So you need an inverted fullback. So yeah, man, set pieces done it, dead balls done it. I hope people are not celebrating. I can't lie, Tate Rogers and Rashford at Arsenal, the way they were linking up with Saka was nice. But there was a lot of space. Rice is Noni in space is a problem, like you saw in the second half. It's different when you're playing low and mid blocks and all of that. Big up Rice though. So this is what it's like supporting set piece FC Arsenal. You corner merchant mugs. You're just waved, Marcel, man. You need to get home safe. Make sure you got your cab. But yeah, man, we're off to a winning way. And yeah, man, it's interesting when you, pardon me, we've now seen the French play, the Brazilian play, the Belgian play, England play, pardon me, Portugal play. And I'm probably missing out 1-2 names in it. Everyone's played. You can't really call a favorite for this World Cup. I do think the World Cup is getting better and better every day. I do think the bigger nations are going to kind of grow into the tournament. Not saying they're going to win it necessarily, but I think the smaller nations, I hate to use the big and small analogy, but the smaller nations have started like a house on fire. France has some good actions. There's other moments where they could do better. Brazil was a shambles. England, kind of the same logic I just said about France. Spain, obviously, this kind of the same, even though they'll be frustrated with that Cape Verde draw. I do believe the same with Portugal, really. Like, a lot of teams are not, taking their chances. And you can see this is exactly what we see at club level. You need to be structured off the ball. You need to be resolute. Like, all the games are narrow. The small margins when games do open up with the high lines and potentially set pieces, these are things that can get you the 3 points in it. So yeah, man, is what it is. I did think he would draw for Kobe Mainoo at some point. He obviously elected not to. I did like everything he did tactically before he made the subs and also the subs. Tuchel, I'll give you that. Second half, I saw method to the madness. And although I criticized the start, whether that's the tactics, whether that's the players, I don't know. I'm not at the training ground. But I'll give you credit for how we all reacted in the second half. So yeah, man, in short, the second goals are avoidable. And it's only going to get more worse the way the tournament goes on. But end of the day, I think Rice was mustard as he always is. Noni had an encouraging performance. I think Saka in his minutes looked a bit sharp. If he's playing that level of minutes and building up his fitness, fair play. Jude Bellingham and Rashford, two heavily talked about footballers, so it's lovely for them to get their moments. Lovely for Kane. And as I said, the Golden Boot race, man. Messi's got a hat-trick. Haaland's got 2, as has Kane, as has Kylian Mbappe. It's all interesting, man. For an expanded World Cup, it's delivered, man. We've seen goals, with bangers. We've seen bangers, set pieces, individual brilliance. We've seen late goals in terms of drama. We've seen the smaller nations causing problems. I think off the ball, it's a level playing field because everybody's kind of well-structured now. It's a good tournament, and especially considering, going into this tournament in America, there was a whole lot of going into it off the field. There's still elements of that, especially around the African teams, their fans getting into the stadium and how, Iran's being treated. But we, as much as we can, we are still talking about the football. And if I'm honest, the tournament's delivering, innit? Big up Congo for also getting a draw. All the African sides, whether, the majority of them have got something, but for the ones that haven't, all of them have given a good account of themselves, apart from South Africa. They were absolutely drunk against Mexico. But yeah, man, it's looking like a good World Cup. Don't really feel you can find a favorite. There's still, Argentina obviously beat Algeria 3-0, still growing into stuff. You got Ghana, Panama. You'd imagine Ghana win. Uzbekistan, Colombia at 3 a.m. That's a decent one, Tomorrow you got Czech Republic, South Africa, Switzerland, Bosnia, Canada, Qatar. I'll be real, I don't think we're doing any watch-alongs for that. Friday, you know what? Australia, America, Mexico. Mexico's at 2 a.m. America, Australia, that can be done. Potentially Scotland, Morocco. Saturday, I'm out of office, people. I'm going to miss Germany, Ivory Coast with you lot. Netherlands, Sweden, Turkey, Paraguay, Brazil, Haiti. I'll be tuning in. Sunday, Forcing it. Monday, Tuesday we'll be here for England, Ghana. I know that much. We'll be here for England, Ghana. I will be watching Norway, Senegal. Jordan, Algeria be a decent game. Portugal probably smack up Uzbekistan. Wednesday, well, no, actually, we're not gonna have time. I'm got a flight early in the morning, Tuesday, 24th of June. So there will still be World Cup videos and all of that kind of stuff and transfer news. But in terms of sitting down and doing a watch along, I don't know, man. Knockouts, it's all calm. Tuchel thought he could defend like Arsenal with City defenders, bro. Them 2 goals we conceded horrible. I don't know which one's worse, the first or the second. Several points of failure and doing silliness, man. Yo, CJ, that's what I'm talking about. Smash Croatia. Also, I told man about Rashford, bring him to Arsenal, bro. Remember, that's 1 game. Remember, 38 game period, man. When there's space and the games are open, the Rashfords, the Nonnies, they can do things. But this is probably Nonnie's best game in a minute. All the game conditions aren't the same. Like, we know on your day you can make something happen. The problem is, Ghana's the next game, right? I could be wrong. Are you going to do this against Ghana? Because it's likely you start. Unless, he goes with a Rodgers or whatever. Noni was shit against Costa Rica. He was decent today. You could argue if Tuchel wants to start him again, he's vindicated in that decision. But yeah, man. Again, you can't really judge players on international level, innit, to a degree, because you are in a new system. There isn't that relationship because you've been training and playing. For Nico O'Reilly, being a good footballer is irrelevant. As I was trying to tell you before the tournament, it's a different dynamic playing in international football. I'm not saying that this would have worked, but this is why, as much as I was looking silly, I do think you got to bring Harry Maguire. You do have to bring a Luke Shaw. I do think we're a bit weak in certain areas with tools, but I do think isolated to the tools, Tuchel's shown, I think the 5 subs actually made sense, man. DG, why do I always mess around with women? Because we love them. 30 million for Rashford should have been a blinder for Barca, but they paid 80 million for the player who ghosted. No wonder there, bro. Of all the attacking players, Anthony Gordon was the worst, innit? Because Noni might not have scored, but he brought something to the table. And you know what? Big up Elliot Anderson for the ball in what led to Jude Bellingham's goal. Bellingham obviously bagged. Kane got a brace, and his overall performance was good. Noni, there was bright sparks. Saka's obviously got an assist. Rashford's got on the score sheet. Rodgers had some good actions as well. Anthony Gordon was the worst of the lot in it. But, again, in the next game, if them lot are all rubbish and you score 2 goals, you're now the hero. That's just how football works. But we got off to a good start, man. We got Ghana and Panama next. Let's just keep moving. But there were elements where we looked good. Others where I thought, if we played the bigger nations, we're in trouble. And if we buck Mexico on the right day in front of their fans and assuming this is how it's going to continue, could be in issues. Anderson matched the works, man. Sad Eze couldn't feature. You'll get your minutes, man. And I can't lie, it's just about winning these games. So yeah, man, you lot, I'm gonna love and leave you lot. Smash the like button and all those good things. Again, England are off to a good start. It's coming on, man.